Hi everyone, it's Jenny here from The Bear and the Fox. I'm back today with another roundup of our favourite kids books. Now my youngest is starting school in summer, so I've pulled together some of our favourite books about school and about starting school. First up we have I Am Too Absolutely Small for School from the Charlie and Lola series, and in this story it's time for Lola to start school, but she's really very unsure about it and she doesn't want to go, and she's worried about how her invisible friend Soren Lauren is going to cope with it all. And it's just a lovely story that humorously deals with the nerves of first starting school. And one of my favourite bits is when Lola says she doesn't want to wear a school uniform. She wants to go to school dressed as a crocodile. And Charlie informs her that that's not going to be possible, and she's a bit disappointed about this. And it all turns out well, because it turns out that it was actually Soren Lauren who was nervous about starting school. It wasn't Lola at all, and it all goes well in the end. Next we have Choose First Day at School, another book that deals with first day of school nerves. In this story, Chew the Panda is worried about what school's going to be like, what the teacher's going to be like, what the other children are going to be like, is anybody going to like Chew? And all the kids have to introduce themselves, and Chew's a bit worried about what to say. But Chew, I don't know if you're familiar with this series, is famous for having astronomical sneezes. And lo and behold, when put on the spot, one of these gigantic sneezes happen, which almost take the roof off the school. And it causes, as usual, a lot of chaos, but it's also a bit of an icebreaker. And then when the parents come to pick Chew up and ask, so what was school like? And Chew says, it was pretty good. So another lovely story about first school day nerves. Then we have a book that my youngest got sent home from nursery. They get these bags to take home preparing for school, and it had a wee school uniform in it for him to try on, and a jotter to draw in, and also this book, First Day at Bog Skill. And this is really cute. It's like all these bugs who are starting school for the first time, and it's just about their first day of school and how they get on. And I just wanted to show you a couple of my favourite pictures. One of them is this one. This is all the parents dropping them off at school, and I think this is genius because there's a little caterpillar and there's his mum, who's of course a butterfly. Brilliant. And then when they're in school, they all go to their separate classes. So the spiders are learning how to be spiders, and the crickets are in music class, and so on. The ladybirds are learning to count spots. It's just really, really cute. It's a lovely book. And then at the end, they've all enjoyed it so much, they say, oh, can we come again tomorrow? Sorry kids, I have news for you. You've got to go back every day after this. Anyway, it really is a lovely book. I can see why they chose this one to send home from nursery. So that's First Day at Bog Skill. Next we have a book that my eldest was gifted when he started school in Berlin a couple of years ago. We have the German edition, which is called Kater Camillo kommt in die Schule. But there's also an English edition of this, which is called Splat the Cat. And in this story, Splat, or Camillo, is about to start school, and he really doesn't want to go because he thinks school is going to be scary, and he tries to come up with excuses, but his mum won't let him get away with it, so she makes him go to school, and he smuggles his best friend Hugo, who is a mouse, into his lunchbox to take to school with him. So he gets to school and it's not all as bad as he thought it was going to be. He's asking lots of questions. This is one of my favourite pages where the teacher is sort of teaching them about how to be a cat, and he keeps asking, warum, 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 warum? So why? And then at lunchtime there's a little bit of drama when everybody sees Hugo. You know, cats and mice, that whole chasing thing doesn't go down too well, but Hugo ends up saving the day when their break time milk is trapped in a cupboard, and Hugo manages to creep underneath and into the cupboard and pick the lock and free the milk, and all's well that ends well. So this is yet another lovely story about first school day nerves, and it's really funny, and Splat the Cat is quite a character. There's a whole series of Splat the Cat books. We've got a couple of others, so definitely one to check out. And then I've got a couple of books that aren't specifically about starting school or first day at school, but they're also really great. First we've got How Did Dinosaurs Go to School, which is perfect for any little dinosaur fans, and my boys just laugh out loud at the antics that the dinosaurs get up to. So here's one, and does a dinosaur interrupt class with his own show and tell? Does a dinosaur yell? So it's picking up on all these things that kids might do at school. No. A dinosaur carefully raises his hands and helps out his classmates with their projects. And at break time, plays with his friends and growls at the bullies. So this is a lovely book for any little dinosaur fans, and will quickly make you forget any first day school nerves. And it's also a great talking point about how to behave when you go to school, which may be a little bit different from what you're used to. Then we have Welcome to Alien School, which is also not about first day of school, but it features Albie from the Albie series, and his mom's taking him to school and somehow ends up dropping him off at Alien School instead of his school, and it's quite funny. So the aliens are all like, oh, who's this? And the teacher has to reassure him, you know, it's a human from planet Earth, but don't worry, he's very friendly and he doesn't bite. So it's kind of turning things on its head a little bit, which is quite funny. And he makes friends with some of the monsters, but he struggles with things are quite different at Alien School from what he's used to. So this is one of my favourites, the spelling lessons. The teacher says, spell bazoozle squark, spell flobbity oobity pom pom, spell tog tog de noggle plomp. So the boys always laugh out loud at these. And then at lunchtime, he gets some space getty, which he's not quite sure about eating, it's the glow. And so on. But he has a great time and he makes friends and it's amazing. He has an amazing day, and then his mum comes to pick him up and take him home. So Welcome to Alien School is a really funny story. It's got great illustrations, and it would make a perfect either starting school or back to school gift. And last but not least is a book not about starting school for the first time, but starting at a new school. And my eldest was gifted this when we moved back to Edinburgh 2 years ago now. And it's called Dear Panda. It's about a little girl called Florence who's moved house, and she is worried about starting at her new school and the presentation she has to give to introduce herself, and she's worried about making new friends. But Florence's new house is next to a zoo, and she spots a panda from her window and decides to write him a letter, as you do. And this is the start of a wonderful friendship. Flo and Panda start writing back and forth to each other, and then they start hanging out and having lots of fun together. And Florence tells Panda about her predicament and this presentation that she's so worried about. And Panda has a great idea. He decides to come along with her on her first day of school to act as a bit of an icebreaker. And it works. And Flo ends up making a new friend at her new school. And then Panda says, it's time to go home. And Flo's a little bit sad, but Panda says, why don't you both come and visit me at the zoo? So there's a happy end for everyone. So this is a great back to school gift for any children starting at a new school. And that was it. Those were our top picture books for starting school or going back to school, and they'd all make great gifts. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Happy reading. Bye.